Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast. Today, we are here, as you might have guessed from the title, to not only discuss but to vent out some well-kept sadness that all us Indian cricket team fans had since the WTC final, and we hope to vent it out through the ashes by being good third-party viewers of that match. But did help us, so we thought let's have a podcast. Let's discuss the two of them. First, we also saw Indian cricket team's test squad for West Indies come out. So a lot of thoughts, lot of views, lot of opinions. So that's what we intend to cover in this podcast. We welcome the panelists. One of our most enthusiastic Indian cricket team fans, Neeraj Pal. He knew I was going to take his name. How are you? How are you
Yeah.
feeling? How was WTC for you? Yet another ICC tournament. We reached the final though, right? Some positive? No?
Yeah, I mean, अब तो आदत सी हो गई है like go and just
फाइनल
lose.
पहुंचने
That's
की
it.
आई होप.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, now we are getting used to this, but yeah, let's see, we can vent it out. Yeah, thank you for hosting this
Yes.
and welcoming me. Yeah,
Welcome
thank you.
yet again, Neeraj. And then we have Sahil Patel, another person who is very opinionated about Indian cricket team, what happens in and around the team, certain individual players. Welcome, Sahil. I hope it's much better than 2 weeks before.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, I'm just like it just piled up to the point that we needed this podcast. So good to have this podcast, and let's see how we went it out.
Yes. Welcome again. And we have the Ravi Ashwin of this panel, Mr. Vaishak Haridas, the Mr. Logical, Mr. Intelligent, not necessarily
Yes.
emotional, but he has a very logical view of cricket. Welcome, Vaishak. Looking forward to your thoughts.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd have to vent out the frustration of waking up at 4 a.m. to watch
Right,
India lose.
right,
But
right,
yeah,
right. Yes, so we start. So, like we said, okay, maybe we can start with WTC in itself, though, the match, the squad. As far as the squad goes, I think it. I mean, looking at the injury situation, we missed out on KL Rahul, missed out on Shreyas Iyer. I think the squad seemed okay. It was the 11 that was very debated. Maybe people wanted Ashwin in hindsight, but I think at the time also, I personally wanted Ashwin just because of the quality that he is. And now you saw Moeen Ali doing things in England, right? Similar pitch.
Yeah.
And fourth, fifth day maybe Hua. But again, what do you think about the starting 11? What were your first thoughts? Anyone of you can start with this.
Yeah, I think considering the history of Oval, like it's been like a slower pitch. So I think the plan was to start with two spinners probably, but then the green top on the first day, I think that messed everyone's head. Like it's right from the pitch report, even I was surprised. Like how can they put in such a green track on Oval? Probably they wanted a result, so that is why they wanted things to move forward. So yeah, I mean, we cannot. I mean, it was a two-way sword, so cannot go away. Like we cannot blame Rohit for what he did or what. So yeah, I think it was fine in the hindsight, but yeah, the batting was always a point of question. So Ashwin needed
Was
that
not deep
batting
enough,
cushion.
no? The batting wasn't deep enough.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Shikhar Bharat also hasn't played much. So the absence of Pant really like
Ah,
it was the
huge word.
difference for us in batting. Yeah. So yeah, I think it all boiled down to the performances basically. I feel starting 11 to ठीक है, like was there.
When you looked at that lineup, वो batting में एक, I mean, you could sense a collapse in that batting
Yes.
lineup. कि दो तीन
Yeah.
के
True,
बाद
true, true.
it is going to be a collapse, which
Yeah,
is
we
what
knew
happened
like
in both innings.
300 के ऊपर इंडिया नहीं बना पाएगा. Like we had also discussed this on our group, right? 300 is very difficult for this batting lineup. So yeah, anybody else?
Yep. Sahil?
Yeah. So, like again, I personally love Ashwin, right? I would wanted him in that 11 only not because of the bowling aspect of it, but because he bats well. We've seen him batting well, and we knew that okay, coming in, like instead of Shardul or Shardul was that option who you would have replaced him. But Ashwin, I feel missing out was that first series of event that started, which which I think Indian team also felt it at some point during that day, because they felt it कि यार Nathan Lyon जैसा bowler अगर properly कर पा रहा है bowling on this pitch, Ashwin would have been like a good asset to the team. But considering everything, whatever decisions they took and everything, I personally feel that India were lost on day one only. They didn't come properly.
Yeah.
Their
Last
mindset,
session.
their mentality, yeah. Their mentality, their mindset was not to that championship level where they were playing against a huge team like Australia. I
Hmm.
feel that okay, you come in with all your odds against you. You come in with your team injured. Half of the team is injured. Your star player like Pant is not there, who plays so well against Australia. Everything considered, but I feel that whatever it is, you come with that mentality that you have to try to at least win that game, which I feel was not there. And this goes right at the top, from Rohit to Virat to everyone. I think had that mentality. And also, second, which I felt very odd was that Indian team. Okay, bowlers did their part somewhat of it, if you say, right? Ki Shami played a
Did
good
they?
innings. Your Siraj, yeah, matlab, that was expected out of it because the pitch was like that and everything. I am very disappointed about the batsmen. Like, how can Indian cricket team batsmen not perform at such a good level at such a final match where
Back to back.
you are known for that, yeah, you're known for that strengths. Like Indian cricket batsmen, अगर तुम वर्ल्ड में कहीं भी जाओ, बोलोगे अरे इंडियन बैट्समैन के साथ खेलना है, ये करना है, पीपल गेट दैट थिंक कि अरे यार मतलब कैसे करना है इनको बॉलिंग, या क्या करना है, या क्या लाइन और लेंथ होनी चाहिए. मतलब आई फील दैट तुम्हारे स्ट्रेंथ पे तुमने जब इतने अच्छे से नहीं खेला, हाउ हाउ डिड यू एक्सपेक्ट दैट यू विल विन दिस
So,
मैच. सो
so Sahil on
आई
that, yeah. So I
या
think
गो अहेड.
gone are those days. Like it was always between India's bowling versus Australia's batting. Like
Yeah.
if you see
राइट
top
राइट
like five batters were in top 10 of Australia and India had none. Literally none. Pant tha ek, wo bhi he was injured. And
इंजर्ड,
Indian
राइट
bowlers have
राइट
actually carried us. Like ye test cycle mein, if you see top three, the
राइट
big three, तीनों का average was 30. I mean, it's always been
एग्जैक्टली.
Pant who was carried and the lower order like Sundar,
Yeah.
Shardul and all those folks.
Exactly.
India's
So I
highest
don't know.
ranked batsman on Sahil's point, India's highest ranked batter
Yeah,
and the ICC rankings is Pant, and he hasn't played for a
Yeah,
while.
he hasn't
yeah.
played. Yeah, true, guys. So I think Indian team lacked a lot of confidence. There were a lot of things that they could have improved, but I don't know. Maybe I would want to press on the point of IPL as well, right? I think we had this podcast discussion where we were like, "यार IPL में final तक जाओगे तो how they will play to WTC, like WTC final कैसे खेलेंगे and all." I feel somewhat that also played a huge role in terms of how much preparations you have for it, right?
Hmm.
Star players of
Correct.
Australia not coming to IPL, putting out their, like literally leaving the money on table and be like, "Ki, nahi, we have to play this. This is our, aim and goal that we are fighting for." That actually shows how much prepared and what is their mentality to win that game. It कैसा भी खेले वो लोग, I don't, it doesn't matter, but that mentality matters for me, and I think that it just wasn't there in India team, and maybe somewhat IPL played a part in it, but yeah, a lot of other factors as well.
On this point, I wanted to ask Vaishak, right? So, I mean, this is not the player's fault, is it? Like, IPL hai. Abhi now, if it would have been the Big Bash, so Shak khilta, all your Labushans. I don't know if he's good in T20, but all your Australians would have to play if it would have been a Big Bash. Abhi scheduling ही ऐसा है कि there is no option with a player to skip IPL या ऐसा something. मतलब I'm just assuming like contracted है ये लोग बड़े players, especially Indian players.
Right.
Like is it the BCC अभी ICC भी डिसाइड कर दिया कि चलो जून में हो रहा है, इंग्लैंड में हो रहा है तो जून में करना पड़ेगा मैच, उसके बाद तो बारिश का सीन है. आई डोंट नो, मे बी नहीं है बिकॉज एशेस वगैरह भी खेल रहे, बट जून इज द बेस्ट टाइम टू अवॉइड अ रेन फ्लड मैच. I don't know if players are just being scapegoats here. Are they just I mean, is all of this just a side effect of everything, or can players do
Uh,
anything? I don't know. What's the overarching thing?
I
I think
mean,
they're unlucky.
personally, I don't think it's a lot dependent on how IPL was. Okay, there is fatigue, right? You are in an aggressive format. तुम आके shots मार रहे हो. Like you're playing a different format. Your mentality is not in there to stick and play and defend that every ball in and out, leave balls basically. Okay, we also left balls which just hit our wickets. Let's not go over there. So we just were not prepared in that aspect. But think about this from this perspective, right? Chiteshwar Pujara, number 3 batsman, right?
Yeah.
The place where Dravid used to come down and bat for like days,
Even
basically.
he himself used to.
Yeah, and he himself
Yeah,
used to.
yeah,
That's the caliber of player he has, and he is playing completely uncharacteristic shot. What was he playing? The ramp. So he is not someone who played the IPL, right? So
Yeah,
it's
true.
the mentality, right? It's you're going out there. He's probably seeing everyone around him hitting shots, and he's thinking to himself, probably he also needs to score runs, because that's how the entire game went. I mean, Travis Head was out there smashing Jadeja or Shami
yeah.
for that 160 odd runs he made. Steven Smith was just, as being Steven Smith, shuffling across, playing on the onside, as he always does, right? So I think they were not playing out of their mind. It's just that uh, we kind of didn't have the bite in imposing ourselves, I would say. Because
Mm,
first thing that, I mean, the reason why discussing Ashwin so much is because he was missed. Come on, he is probably India's
yeah.
most skillful, and you see the brains working. There's cobwebs always running because he knows no matter what pitch you give him, he will produce extra bounce. He will produce a wicket. And considering you have what 6 or 5 left-handed batsmen
Yeah.
out of 11,
Yeah.
he's Ashwin, man. And I mean, he's probably one of your best bowlers forever in Indian cricket. So I
It,
think
it's
that's just
it's not it's
decisions you
not
make.
every day that Sachin comes out and gives a
Mm.
criticism, and he came out and
Yeah,
gave a detailed
exactly.
criticism. I don't
Yeah,
know what
on
it
why
was.
you don't take someone like Ashwin in the squad. And I think uh, one position in that Indian lineup which I always struggle to understand is Shrikar Bharat roles. I understand he's a wicket keeper, but is he just a fielding option for you? Right? Because I don't see him scoring runs consistently. Yes, he did score a few in the last series we had, but he has been in there as a replacement for quite a long time. Uh, I mean, I don't know. I maybe call me like a favorite for Sanju Samson, or there are other folks who have been playing better, right, in this format,
Yeah.
who are a better wicket keeper. I mean, I won't say better wicket keeper, but at least with the bat, you mentioned, right, we don't see depth. Yeah, he comes after Ravindra Jadeja, right? Who is kind of all rounder,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of bit skewed on how we have that batting lineup completely. Because after Jadeja goes out, we are seeing his bowler. We don't even consider Bharat. When I was looking at the lineup, I was like, oh, Jadeja wicket चला गया है, जिसका wicket चला गया, अब तो bowlers आ रहे हैं. वो skip
Mm.
ही हो गया मेरे दिमाग से कि there is a wicket keeper who is
Which is
kind of in
fair
the
also,
team
because
to
I was
bat
looking
as
at his
well.
stats. He has never been a good batter, apparently.
Yeah,
Like list A में भी उसका average 34 है, first
Mm.
class 36 है.
Hmm.
I mean, he's never test में तो उसका 18 है. So
I
I
mean
think he's never
Sanju
been,
Samson,
but
I think has
probably
more
the best
caliber. He will
skillful
play.
wicket
Yeah,
keeper. And England में
exactly.
you need
Yeah.
that, no?
I mean, look at the pitch. I mean,
He
if you
did well.
take the pitch itself, right? Yeah, I don't know where,
The
पता नहीं है
trade-off.
that but one position
Mm.
which I really doubt,
Hmm.
like as a
So
wicket keeper था कि नहीं.
So
But yeah,
it's like India has been traditionally favoring a skillful keeper over a batter. So that's why Saha was always there. And
Yeah.
Shikhar Bharat is from the same academy, and they could not bring in Saha because all the things which happened, like they dropped him and all those things. So I think it would have been better if they would have gone with Saha only, would have batted a bit, and keeping level is we
I
know of
mean
Saha.
IPL tremendous form, right, with Gujarat Titans. I mean, he played very
Yeah,
well, good
yeah.
fiddle with
Selective,
our guys. So
selective ये है वो thinking कि
Yeah.
राणे आईपीएल में कर रहा है, ठीक है, इसको ले सकते हैं. सहा कर रहा है पर नहीं, प्रोसेस पे
Uh,
ध्यान देना है, तो शिखर
uh,
भरत को लेते हैं. पर अभी प्रोसेस है तो फिर सरफराज को भी ले सकते हैं. बट क्या कर सकते हैं, छोड़ो.
but वो calculation है कि like okay, तुम इंग्लैंड में जाओगे and your 4 quick bowlers are going to outpace like Australians is a very is a recipe for disaster in my opinion. Like I think whenever we've beaten Australia, it's probably okay. Fast bowlers have done their bit, especially Bumrah or Ishant Sharma in his old days.
Yeah.
But it has always been just one fast bowler really running the show. Otherwise, it's always a spin attack who really cramp up
Yeah.
the batsman, and then the fast bowler comes in. So that's where I think the Jadeja Ashwin combo would have been really helpful as well. So yeah.
And coming to your point, Saurabh, I genuinely feel players are scapegoats. Like for IPL, I mean, these icon players just cannot skip IPL. There's a lot of pressure from BCCI and the money minting what
Yeah.
IPL does. I mean, they just cannot skip. Apart from BCCI, the franchises, everything. Like, so yeah, I mean, I'll definitely blame BCCI for this, the scheduling. It's very tough, yeah, for the
Rohit came
players.
out and mentioned that as
Yeah,
well, but he was very smart in his, I mean, probably well trained to say the way he said it, that I mean the final should not be in June, is what he said. He didn't mention कि IPL ऐसा होना
Yeah.
चाहिए वैसा होना चाहिए. राहुल
हाँ,
द्रविड़ थोड़ा सच्चा आदमी है तो उससे थोड़ा गलती से निकल गया कि of course we would have ideally wanted a good 3 to 4 week
Good. Yeah.
preparation, but it is what it
yeah.
is. We have to deal with what we
Did this
have.
team even play a list A match? Like usually before the finals, they have a
No, no,
list A
no,
match,
no,
right? They
no.
didn't have a
No
Oh,
list A
warm-up
match.
match
only
also.
Gill
only
came
batter who
4 days before the match.
Yeah,
Gill
and
and
only batter
Yeah.
and only
hmm,
batter who played county cricket scored
Chiteshwar
four
Pujara.
test centuries,
Cheteshwar Pujara. Yeah.
scored
it's out of.
nothing in.
Even
Yeah,
Steve
But
Smith and Steve Smith also played, no, along with
played,
Yeah.
Pujara.
Yeah.
yes,
Same team.
yes,
Same
yeah.
team. Same
ऐसा
team.
लगा ही नहीं भाई.
Same team. I
No, he
think
was in good
Cheteshwar Pujara
form
is the captain also.
of
I,
Sussex.
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm county cricket captain, but I'm not sure if that's right.
yeah,
But
Chetu scored
but no, my
60 plus
point
average. Yeah,
again to Saurabh's things, players are scapegoats. I agree, but where is that line where you draw for playing as a club member or a club player and playing for that Indian cricket team? Like
No
I
more.
agree with all your like all you guys का explanation कि players are scapegoat, BCCI's fault and everything and all that. वो
What can
समझा.
they do
But
better,
yeah, as
side
a
player? What do you expect?
no,
nothing.
so
Yeah,
so one thing is that see, one is that key players, some key players like someone like Sharma or Kohli, right? I know these guys run the IPL. People watch IPL because of them. I have seen concurrency going high because of these guys, coming to bat and everything. But I feel that after just IPL, when you have something like this, where it's like a legit ICC final, like it's like you are going and defending Indian cricket team and India overall, and not playing for your Mumbai Indians or Bangalore. I feel that players they themselves should have that deadline or whatever. I think
Mm.
play some first half of the IPL and then go. See, I agree that there will be a criticism there also. People will be like कि अरे क्या Bangalore छोड़ के क्या Mumbai Indians का ये नहीं है. But I think the true Indian fans will understand that why is that reason happening. You get that
As
logic that
long as you're winning, no true Indian fans will understand everything. ये सब करने के
Mhm.
बाद भी अगर हारा फिर तो
अगर
Uh,
हारा तो फिर I know but यार मेरे को like I feel that just that because there was no preparation. See मेरा एक ही simple है. You go with 100%, like prepare yourself to the max and then lose. I will support you no matter what. I will be there for you always because you have given your 100%. मेरे को लगा इधर 100 का इधर 50% भी नहीं दिया. There was no preparation, which was so
true.
frustrating. What was that shot played by Virat Kohli? Tell me, guys. Like, why was it necessary also in that second innings? You are fucking leaving every ball, right? You are लिटरली आउटसाइड द ऑफ स्टंप जा रहा है, तुम छोड़ रहे हो बॉल, बढ़िया है. मैं लिटरली एक एक बॉल वो जो छोड़ रहा था, आई वाज गेटिंग एक्साइटेड कि हाँ भाई चल, गुड वन गुड वन गुड वन गुड वन. आउट
शायद
ऑफ
फाइनली
नोवेयर
रियलाइज
यू
हुआ उसको.
हाँ मतलब आउट ऑफ नोवेयर तू कवर ड्राइव खेलने जा रहा है, कट लग के स्लिप एंड आउट. मतलब वो क्या फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग था. आई रियली फेल्ट सो फकिंग एंग्री एट दैट पॉइंट. आई वाज लाइक कि मतलब मैं क्या करूं अभी इस पॉइंट का. एंड एट दैट मोमेंट ओनली 2 बॉल पहले मस्त कमेंटेटर्स, आई थिंक गावस के कोई तो था कमेंटेटर्स, लाइक कि सो विराट कोहली इज प्लेइंग दैट स्टैंडर्ड प्रॉपर क्रिकेट नॉक, leaving all the balls which are not on the stump and everything full. इसमें विराट कोहली का तारीफ चल रहा है. 2 बॉल बाद आके वो कवर ड्राइव खेलने के चक्कर में आउट.
ये मॉर्निंग
आई
में था
मीन
ना, नेक्स्ट डे मॉर्निंग, अर्ली मॉर्निंग था ना.
हाँ, yes, 50.
हाँ
आधे
हम सब
घंटे में
होप
गिनते
लेके आए
थे.
थे, कुछ तो होगा.
Bro, I like okay. I'm telling you, because we were planning our entire loading and whatever in like you know in our thing, we were very hopeful कि fifth day at least T तक चलेगा. ठीक है. लंच के पहले आउट हो गया. Everyone got mad and like oh shit, ये क्या हो गया? Like literally there were strategic calls taken कि अरे नहीं नहीं T तक तो चलेगा. Indian team है कर लेंगे ऐसा वैसा ये वो. So that also fucked up a lot of things. वो अलग है. But considering this part, very very wrong. Like I
हुआ
absolutely
मुझे कि
felt.
हाँ हॉटस्टार पे था करेक्ट.
हाँ exactly.
और सबने
I think
माहौल बना लिया था, लाइक बियर
डे
वियर
1 डे
लेकर आ
5
गए
का
थे
व्यूअरशिप
देखने
सेम था.
yeah,
वो स्टार्ट में डे 1 और डे 5 का
yeah.
पीक व्यूअरशिप था.
हाँ, peak
डे
So,
5 तो क्रेजी हो गया फिर.
तो मैं
crazy.
तो सेकेंड इनिंग्स का वो देख रहा था स्टैट्स राइट एंड एवरीवन इंडिया के टॉप 5 बैट्समैन एक्सेप्ट फॉर अजिंक्य रहाणे जिंक्स वाज रफली अराउंड 45 रेस्ट एवरीवन अराउंड 60 70 स्ट्राइक रेट. सो माय पॉइंट बीइंग लाइक टेस्ट मैच खेल रहे हैं हम लोग. राहुल द्रविड़ को देखा 100 बॉल खेल के 1 रन बना रहे हैं. सो फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट आई थिंक दैट इज वेयर वो मेंटालिटी का इट टेक्स टाइम
बॉल
राइट प्रॉब्ली टू लीव अ बॉल टेक्स एफर्ट. अदरवाइज हम बीसीसीआई बोल रहे हैं फाइंड ट्रीज प्लांट करेंगे हम तुम एवरी बॉल लीव करोगे. तो से लेके वो मेंटालिटी चेंज टुक अ लॉट टाइम. दे डिड आई थिंक रोहित शर्मा also came out second innings very aggressive. He was playing
Yeah.
full shots. Even the shot against Nathan Lyon in this first over, Nathan Lyon is bowling, not knowing where the ball is went for a
उसका भी
sweep.
चीप विकेट था इफ आई रिमेम्बर.
Very cheap.
बहुत
Yeah.
He went for a sweep,
Nathan Lyon,
got caught up
LBW.
in
Yeah,
front.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
यार नेथन लान
Shubman Gill. Okay, controversy. Let's. Okay.
इतना भी बड़ा नहीं मेरे हिसाब से.
I mean, I personally thought it was grounded. I don't know.
या इट इज
So.
बट ठीक है यार मेरे हिसाब से ऐसा था
हाँ,
कि आई कैन
50-50.
अंडरस्टैंड इफ इट्स गिवन आउट. बट जितना हम लोग
50-50.
बनाया कि भाई ये अगर आउट नहीं देता तो जीतता था पर
तो जीत
नहीं,
जाता.
नहीं, नहीं,
Exactly.
नहीं.
वो तो
I
नहीं
mean,
था.
वो भी
he
ट्वीट कर रहा है.
he was looking in good form. He was middling, but again, Virat Kohli was also middling the ball.
हाँ
Rohit Sharma was
यस
also middling the ball, but they all got out. So I have no comments on that. But before that, right? Let's take a step back. Day 1, right? Mohammad Siraj initially got a wicket. Usman Khwaja ka literally very cheap. I
Yeah.
think he got on duck basically.
Yeah, he got a
Full
duck, yeah.
Indian team on top. ठीक है. उसके बाद डेविड वार्नर का भी आई थिंक बहुत जल्दी विकेट
भाई
निकला था.
4 विकेट गए थे 100 में.
मार्कस. हाँ.
3
100
सॉरी.
में,
एंड
yeah,
देन
तीन
3
हाँ
विकेट निकला था
70
राइट.
में.
3, हाँ.
हाँ.
80 हाँ
And then Travis Head and Steven Smith, right?
वन साइड.
I think at that point Indian team ऐसा था कि they lost कि इनको करना क्या है. Like वो बोले थे कि अच्छा फर्स्ट सेशन मस्त ग्रीन पिच है,
ग्रास
नया
है
बॉल
हाँ
स्विंग
उड़
कर.
गया
हाँ.
पूरा
उसके बाद आई डोंट नो व्हाट दे लाइक उतना ही सोच के आए थे. वो लोग सोच रहे कि 30 ओवर्स में पूरा ऑल आउट करके जाएंगे अभी ऑस्ट्रेलिया को.
4 ओवर से
खत्म.
ज्यादा डालना पड़ेगा बॉलर सोच रहे
हाँ.
हैं.
लाइक वो और लिटरली उसके बाद ट्रैविस हेड तो फर्स्ट सेशन के बाद बाहर निकल के मारा था यार शॉट्स को. तो वो
हाँ
ट्रैविस हेड तो भाई भूल ही किया है.
ट्रैविस
Literally.
हेड आल्सो बाय द वे उसका स्टैट दे दो 174 balls 163 94 स्ट्राइक रेट
हम्म
in the first innings of a test match. Okay, so
we
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
decoded his weakness in the second day. मतलब एक
okay,
दिन
हाँ.
लगा उसके बाद उसके
ए-
वेस्ट में
ए-
डालने लगे बाउंसर.
Exactly. मैं वही बोल रहा था कि अपन स्मिथ लाबुशेन ये लोग के लिए प्रिपेयर करके ट्रैविस हेड आउट ऑफ द सिलेबस आके पूरा
यार
मैच लेके
स्मिथ के लिए
चला
प्रिपेयर
गया.
करके गए थे. स्मिथ भी 120 मार के गए
हाँ
win.
अरे
हाँ
मतलब अरे दैट इज गोटेड इनिंग्स ब्रो. मतलब आई फील स्मिथ के लिए जितना प्रिपरेशन किया होगा ठीक है तो भी उसने मारा. मतलब
हाँ.
मतलब वो बोलते हैं ना कि यू गो विथ
पागल है
ऑल
वो.
योर माइट एंड फोर्स
क्लच
बट हाँ बट प्लेयर्स लाइक स्मिथ यू कांट. सेकंड
वो
इनिंग्स में
पागल
चलो
है वो.
वो वर्क
येड़ा है
किया.
वो.
यार हम लोग
मेरे को
ये भी
समझ
देखो
में
ना
नहीं आता
हमारे
स्मिथ.
बॉलर्स का भी इकोनॉमी रफली हर बॉलर्स का इकोनॉमी 3+ था. इन अ टेस्ट मैच दैट साउंड्स very bad.
वेरी बैड
Let's
या
get
वेरी बैड
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
outright. Right? Let's get very very bad.
Especially when
Like
you are not taking wickets ले
yeah,
रहे तो
yeah.
अलग बात.
Umesh Yadav, what 23 over 77 runs, just
Run
consuming
First
machine.
runs
innings
for
Umesh
fun.
Yadav was frustrating. First innings बाप रे, leaking
He's
बाप
runs
just
रे
like
सही
nothing.
में.
he will have 4 balls
Yeah,
on
yeah,
outside off stump which they are leaving and fifth ball on the pads, just easy boundary, easy runs.
Staple.
And Steven Smith, if you give anyone the stumps, he will just shuffle and hit on the leg side. Like
Yeah.
it's textbook, right? Like we know he's
केक
gonna
वॉक
do
फॉर
that.
हिम
हाँ.
स्मिथ के
So
लिए द
it's
स्टंप इज नॉट स्टेशनरी. वो
हाँ.
पूरा
हाँ
स्टंप को इधर उधर हिलाता रहता है. इट्स
पूरा
वेरी
तो
डिफिकल्ट.
ट्रू
मतलब
ट्रू
वही है
ट्रू
कि
ट्रू.
बैट्समैन तो खराब खेले हमारे,
हम्म,
5-6 बैट्समैन, भरत को छोड़ो यार, बैट्समैन काउंट नहीं करता था अनफॉर्चुनेटली मैं उसको। उसके बाद जो हमारे 5 बॉलर 4 बॉलर थे, फास्ट बॉलर्स, दे आल्सो केम इन वेरी अनप्रिपेयर्ड फॉर द
yeah.
एंटायर डे। आई थिंक
First day we missed Ashwin, I think. रहता तो फिर he would have got
सेकंड
head
इनिंग्स भी।
easily.
yeah, he
Second
would
innings
have done
also, yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
different, I
ट्रेविस हेड
think.
को एटलीस्ट थोड़ा रोक पाते कि वो लेफ्टी
हाँ, he
जो
would
है
have taken him
Yeah.
easily.
कुछ तो कर लेता
हाँ,
बे, कुछ तो पाइथागोरस
हाँ,
डाल देता वो।
हाँ. See
Carom,
ना,
कांड
Varam,
कांड
सब
ऐसा रुक
how
जाता,
नीरज लाल
Netherlands
भी
got
डाल
him.
देता।
मंकड़ विंकड़ कर देता, कुछ तो करता, दिमाग में घुसता उसके।
Ah,
सही
yes,
बात, सही बात।
yes.
I think हाँ यार, वो मतलब आई डोंट नो, मतलब ठीक है, आई टॉस का यार, मुझे थोड़ा ऐसे फर्स्ट इनिंग्स देख के सैड हो गया था यार कि क्या चल रहा है
हाँ.
फर्स्ट।
Talking about some
हाँ, जो
positives
रन्स
though,
के
right,
बाद।
Vaishak, in the first innings and overall, I mean, of course, criticism तो थे ही because we lost. But talking about some positives, that Rahane Jadeja partnership was very
रहाणे
refreshing.
जडेजा पार्टनरशिप, शार्दुल ठाकुर फर्स्ट
Shardul,
इनिंग्स
Yeah,
बॉलिंग बैटिंग
Ah,
बोथ, राइट, लाइक
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
positives. To be very honest, Shubman Gill, he didn't last basically in the middle long, but he looked like the player in touch. Like
Hmm.
he looked the player who
he's test match about that
is
though.
playing.
You know he was in touch. He scored 300s in the IPL, in the final,
Yeah,
yeah,
semi-final,
yeah.
blah blah.
exactly.
Obviously, he's in touch, but his test match about touch,
He's
you
in.
know, at the end of the day. Like, would you
Hmm.
assess a batsman on touch in a test match? Test match is about to tick पा रहा है क्या? नहीं टिका.
No, the thing is, I think he was very. Also, I feel he was very naive. Also, in the Indian team perspective, कि they think that the translation होगा कि T20 में जो form and जो runs आए हैं,
हाँ,
that easily get translated to a test match format where people can bowl outside off stump for 5 balls and then
10
can
दिन
pitch
swing
one
हो रहा है
that
बैंडी.
and then swing in, and he just left that ball, right, ball end wala ball. He just showed
Yeah,
his arms and he just came in and hit it. And that's what the commentators were saying, right? If anyone has watched ball and ball, that's his trademark ball. He bowls the ball fifth, sixth stump,
Top of
it
off
comes
stump.
in, yeah, top of off stump. That's exactly what happened, and it was quite weird watching that happen quite a time. And
exactly.
Yeah.
And coming to Vaishak's point, just want to add this one thing ki yaar, we are talking about unpreparedness. We are talking about uh, teams transition from T20 to playing proper test cricket, right? I think you have coach like Rahul Dravid, right? Who we consider like the epitome of test in India is like somewhat Rahul Dravid comes in that top two, top three, right? So I'm not understanding how can that entire thing happen where Rahul Dravid जैसे कोच से भी अपन नहीं हो पा रहे इंस्पायर या whatever. I think what Vaishak said is very true that or Saurabh said actually कि test is like altogether a different ball game in terms of how do you defend, how you तू कितना टिक पा रहा है. Like मेरे लिए तो test cricket is somewhat like a
Yes.
war, right? You go on a war, you are just more like कि I have to survive this entire condition. Like it's more
सेशन
on
टू
कि
सेशन बदल जाता है बे ऐसा.
हाँ एग्जैक्टली इट इज सो डायनेमिक इन टर्म्स ऑफ बॉल कैसे आएगा, बॉलर तू स्पिन खेल रहा है नेक्स्ट पॉइंट पे तेरे को पेसर आएगा, इन स्विंग आउट स्विंग, कभी बॉल स्पिनर कुछ भी हो सकता है. तो इट्स मोर लाइक सर्वाइवल वेयर यू आर सर्वाइविंग एंड फाइंडिंग दैट राइट मोमेंट्स टू स्कोर, which was Rahul Dravid's entire career, right? He
I
used to
think
leave 50-60 balls, एक बॉल आएगा आगे छक्के मारेगा. That's the entire crux of it.
I
But
think
Yeah,
वो
you
ही
need
पता
to
एक
नहीं ये
look
चीज।
at that
transition.
Rahul Dravid interview after the match with सौरव गांगुली, राहुल द्रविड़, हरभजन. ये
हम्म
इंटरव्यू था
Right.
पोस्ट मैच. तो वो देखेगा, देखो समझेगा राहुल द्रविड़ इज एब्सोल्युटली हेल्पलेस हियर. He is just
Fuck.
and he has never been someone who is very opinionated. He
Hmm.
just goes about his
Right.
job. I think that is one thing that is happening here. He is just doing about his job. वो ऐसा सामने से नहीं बोल रहा मुझे ये चाहिए मुझे वो. He has never been that person. वो ऐसा है कि मेरे को कुछ भी तो
Right.
I'll work with it. वो अभी भी वही कर रहा है कि it is what it is. I mean, this is what we have to work with. Of course, I would have loved. Of course, I would have loved this. I would have loved preparation. I would have loved a few practice. But we have to work with what we have. You know, कि he's just there to work around whatever is there. So ऑफ कोर्स कि राहुल द्रविड़ से तुम एक्सपेक्ट करते हो ये वो, बट वो दे नहीं पा रहा है. वो प्लेटफॉर्म ही नहीं है उसके लिए फिलहाल. और T20
Right.
ओडीआई में भी
Right.
दैट हैज नॉट बीन हिज थिंग. but he has done well with the under 19s A team.
Under
He knows
19s,
his shit.
yeah,
I mean, we are no one to doubt Rahul Dravid's capability on cricket, but I
But
yeah,
feel
that's also the
optimum
thing,
way
right?
में नहीं use कर रहे.
Under 19s kids are raw. They want to prove the coaches. They want to listen. They want to learn a lot more. Here, people have what 10,000s and hundred. People are chasing 100
Yeah.
centuries. People are chasing like so many runs. People have come with 300s, and so I think
And
it's a
no
different
pressure at all,
mentality.
na.
Yeah, it's a
Under
different
19,
mentality.
there's no pressure. Either Rohit will say, I want Pujara to play attacking cricket. But Dravid would think likewise. But what will Pujara do, right? I mean, I would have
He will
personally
play
wanted
that shot.
Pujara to play 200,
Yeah, that
200 play
was
ball,
I
200
think
ball.
that was the whole
Yeah.
story of WTC.
Yes,
Pujara playing
correct.
that ramp,
I'm sure.
right? That ramp is
एक तो
Indian
एक
cricket
मैच
at the
देखने
moment.
मिलता है उसको पूरे साल में, एक
हाँ
दो
ना.
तीन मैच, उसमें भी ऐसा आउट होएगा तो क्या फायदा है इसका यार. Which
Kaisa.
brings me to a transition. Now he's been dropped,
Hmm.
right? Now he's
Yeah,
been
Hmm.
now
dropped.
he's
Now,
been.
of course, it seems unfair. It feels unfair. But you look at the record, he has not been the only one out of form. People have had, without taking names, worse form,
Hmm.
worse run-off
3
forms
years.
for 3 years, 4 years, but they've been back. So now, ideally, I would like the entire batting lineup, Indian batting lineup, like we said, to look like a dependable batting lineup, right? कि session to session मेरे को ये feeling नहीं आना चाहिए कि भाई collapse होने वाला है, एक विकेट गया तो मेरे को at the end of the day एक stable batting lineup चाहिए. For that, and I want match winners. So ठीक है, कोहली का replacement है नहीं है, कोहली होना चाहिए. That is what I am thinking. ठीक है,
Yeah,
डिपेंडेबिलिटी पुजारा काउंटी में खेल रहा है, ठीक है, टच में है, ऐसा नहीं है कि वो कभी टच में ही नहीं है. रांझी भी खेल रहा है, तो उसको बैक कर सकते क्या? ठीक है, कर सकते हैं, बट इंडिया में खेला है क्या? इंडिया में भी खेला है क्या? एटलीस्ट नहीं, नहीं, इंडिया में भी हगा है वो, तो क्या ड्रॉप करे, बैक करे? बट wherein like Sunil Gavaskar said, he does not have a PR, so he's been dropped and nobody says a thing. So what are your thoughts on Pujara being dropped? I personally am not sure. I don't know anymore if it's fair, unfair. और किसको लाया उसके जगह? I think ऋतुराज गायकवाड is brought
Ruturaj.
in. हाँ, sorry,
Gaikwad,
Jaiswal. Yeah,
Jaiswal.
I'm guessing Jaiswal will start. I think he'll be invested in. And Pujara will, sorry, Gill would be number three. And which is
Also high time we need a left-handed also, by the way. So we lack
लेफ्ट हैंड
Yes,
रह ही नहीं
sir.
गया. अरे हाँ ना, है ही नहीं.
Jadeja
हाँ,
is
नहीं
the
मतलब ऊपर टॉप में जडेजा
top
तो
Upper
छोड़
top
यार,
में.
उसको स्विस नाइफ जैसा हर जगह यूज करे हर फॉर्मेट में, और वो खेल भी रहे.
सही में.
बट हाँ, तो वही वही आई एम सेइंग कि पुजारा ड्रॉप, राइट? I
yeah.
understand it, but it doubts the credibility of this selection, right? There is no head or tail to
Yes.
it. You don't
100%.
know a process. Young players
Process,
coming in
yeah.
now, what do they do? आईपीएल खेले, आईपीएल में परफॉर्म करेंगे, अभी जो भी एमपीएल टीएनपीएल ये सब में करेंगे तो हम
Hmm.
न्यूज में रहेंगे, तो शायद सिलेक्ट होंगे कि द एज ओल्ड लेट्स प्ले फॉर माय स्टेट, द सरफराजेस, द ईश्वरंस. इनका कुछ फर्क ही नहीं फिर. आई मीन, देयर इज नो प्रोसेस एंड इट्स नॉट सस्टेनेबल, इज इट?
Mm,
No, no, I agree with you. And one thing which, the thing that is coming out of our conversation is कि अरे player का PR नहीं है तो he's not there, right? See, now that is a very huge statement. You are playing cricket. I know where it's been looked by millions and whatever. But yeah, never it should be that a player's
Is about the country
PR,
or
or
team.
yeah, it is about more about the country and the team
Team.
and the skill set that the player carries. अब फॉर एग्जाम्पल पुजारा का पीआर नहीं है तो उसको ड्रॉप कर दिया, बट मे बी पुजारा का फॉर्म भी नहीं है, मे बी वेस्ट इंडीज के लिए उसको रेस्ट किया, वी डोंट नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, करेक्ट? बट
दैट इन
the
इटसेल्फ
things
इज
that
अ
are
लॉट.
coming up, yeah, exactly, that is the point where, because we don't know what is happening, we have players like Sunil Gavaskar or a lot of cricket analysts coming in and telling about this entire process of selection committee. So there has to be, like, I feel a proper transparency on how and why players are selected. I know that you cannot justify each and every one of it, because at the end of the day it is again a gamble. Okay? I agree that selecting players and backing them up, it is entirely a process and at the end of the day a gamble, but there has to be some thought given to it and a process explained कि ये क्यों हो रहा है, because अगर ये नहीं होगा ना, I feel that over the part where that credibility of selection committee or whatever will start disappearing, and then at the end of the day it will be more like कि यार चलो अब बस अपने हैं तो IPL ही है. So I think the future of cricket, I think just before the podcast we were discussing, the first thing that came to my mind कि चल ठीक है मतलब IPL ही होने वाला है अभी आगे. That just comes to my mind. Yeah, Saurabh.
No, I was just saying, I think I understand one thing ki why Ruturaj, why Jaiswal. I think at the end of the day, BCCI or cricket boards in general realize that we need to find all format players. Like Ruturaj, Jaiswal are ODI T20 specialists, of course. And they are also capable enough to do test matches. Like all format players, hai, so I think it's more sustainable is what they think. I think rather than having separate squad for a test, separate for an ODI, separate for
So
a T20, which may be the correct way to go about. We don't know. We've never seen
so
it happen. England ke sath dekha. But,
हाँ,
I
No.
think
exactly.
this is what they're thinking,
England has that concept, right? They have like okay, each
but they haven't been
basically
successful
they
in
they
test.
have
Yeah.
been they have been
They have
successful.
been, na?
They have been successful actually. They
Test.
have won almost everything. Test match also they
Yeah.
are pretty good actually, to be honest, right? There's been a lot of matches in the subcontinent which they kind of end up losing, but at their home they do well, and they do the different.
And they
I mean,
need their mental break. So,
they try to reinvent
which
their
we as
game
Indians
every
don't
time. Yeah,
understand.
they try to reinvent their game every time. So that's a whole different.
Yeah.
But I think uh, why I personally like Jaiswal or Rituraj Gaikwad and dropping Pujara in a very odd way is that it's a new cycle. Okay, new cycle of Test Championship,
Yeah.
right? New cycle of Test Championship. How long do you expect Chiteshwar Pujaras? How long do you expect Virat Kohli's? How long do you expect Rohit Sharma's to be playing, right? And they have anchored Indian cricket for a long time now, right? It's about a transition time now. Considering their form, like let's be honest, let's be very honest, right? They are world class cricketers. Yes, Virat Kohli played amazing IPL. Yes, Rohit Sharma was bad there also. But Rohit Sharma's form has been bad. I mean, he might prove me wrong and win the World Cup for India, hopefully this year. So, but those are whole things that are speculations. But on numbers, they are going down a bit, right? And if it's a new test cycle, they can experiment with these players now. This is the time to experiment. Also, Ruturaj
Just
Gaikwad, likes
against the
of
West Indies.
Jaiswal, have been like playing in Indian subcontinent to a great extent and scoring. But yes, Indian subcontinent is a very different. It's a batter's paradise. To be very honest, if you
No more.
know,
No more.
No, no more.
No more actually.
3 दिन में खत्म हो
Yeah.
रहे थे
Test
इंडी.
cricket.
no, I
Yeah.
mean, I think because of how we also like to play as well. But I think for ODIs and T20s, right?
हाँ.
4 over ka game, initially you can go hit shots and you can outscore.
Irony
So,
of this is Rahane is back. He's a vice captain.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this is
Yeah.
the thing I don't get. ये सब सही बोल रहा है तू. Then I think रहाणे नहीं था, रहाणे आ गया, वाइस कैप्टन बन गया. अच्छा ठीक है, चल समझ सकता हूँ. तो पुजारा क्यों नहीं? अच्छा ठीक है, पुजारा आउट ऑफ फॉर्म है. तो कोहली क्यों है? रोहित शर्मा, मतलब इट्स ऑल ओवर द प्लेस.
no process
I
at all.
think Kohli and Rohit Sharma are.
अनटचेबल. बोल
I
दे
didn't
We
बोल
say
दे.
are,
that. I didn't say that. I
we
didn't
are
say that.
game.
I didn't say that.
PR strong
But
PR.
हाँ
PR
यार
game strong.
मतलब they bring the largest crowds. They get more advertisers in. Let me say
So
that.
on that point of all format wala, I genuinely believe like England are the most successful team. Like if you see ICC like World Cup they have won, T20 they have won recently. So I think two format is the way forward because this schedule is totally absurd for players. I mean, see, we've seen Stokes, like Stokes has given up on ODI. So that there's a valid reason. Players cannot, and then we see players like Virat Kohli skip some of the series. So why not just focus on two formats only, right? I mean, just give like another player opportunity to play for the third format and manage your workload. I mean, kabhi aayega, kabhi nahi aayega, and that is unfair to that other player as well, right? He'll play in one series, and then the next series he gets dropped because Virat and Rohit are back.
Right.
I mean, there's no process, na. So this is why the process gets like all over the place, haywire. So I genuinely believe like workload management is 2 months so they play IPL only, and then 10 महीना बचा है. Then उसमें भी they'll have a ICC tournament like every year. and then they'll have this series as well. So
then a
just
few minnow
define some rules.
tournaments like the Ireland,
Yeah,
उसमें सब तुम्हारे यंगस्टर्स को भेज देंगे, तुम खुश हो जाओगे, अरे
भेजेंगे.
वाह सैमसन खेल रहा है भाई फाइनल.
So
Commercially
yeah,
we are
so
doing
we
good.
see. Yeah, so we see Root also doesn't play T20. So there's a reason like England have adopted that format. Like they know कि अभी दो ही formats खिला सकते हैं to their
Ashwin
players,
doesn't play
not
T20.
all three. हाँ yeah.
केन
तो वही
विलियमसन
तो
भी,
है.
वो तो चलो न्यूजीलैंड के पास डेप्थ नहीं है ना, तो वो भी नहीं खेलता.
हाँ.
बट एक्चुअली ट्रू, एक्चुअली दिस इज अ सॉल्यूशन राइट, दैट इज द सॉल्यूशन कि टेस्ट मैच में तुम अलग
Yeah.
स्क्वाड रखो, प्रिपरेशन करते रहेंगे वो, ऐसे नहीं कि सिर्फ पुजारा कर रहे हैं. पूरा मतलब आईपीएल चलता रहेगा बैकग्राउंड में टेस्ट मैच. बट वही है कि यार इट्स आई थिंक स्टिल कि बहुत अलग ही स्क्वाड रहेगा वो. पूरा इंडिया ही खेल रहा है आईपीएल, मतलब बहुत. फिर भी आई थिंक टेस्ट वाले लोग रहेंगे आईपीएल में, लाइक इवन इफ
हाँ.
ठीक है ईश्वरन
नहीं रहेंगे.
सरफराज, आई डोंट नो बट
I mean, bowlers are going to be the same kind of, right? Bowling lineup.
बॉलर्स तो वही रहेंगे.
Yeah. नहीं,
इट्स
और
But we
also
रैबिट होल.
we have a lot of bowlers अभी, तो we are lucky on that aspect
Thankfully,
अभी
थोड़ा
तो.
pace attack is
हाँ.
now, but
हाँ.
at the same
यार
time, our spin attack is kind of dwindling down. I feel to some extent. मतलब
एक एक
कौन
मैच
है?
नहीं खेला तो पिनी है भाई
अरे
अपना, और
नहीं
कुछ नहीं है.
नहीं, अश्विन की बात नहीं ना. अश्विन तो भी रिटायर हो जाएगा,
अश्विन
वो भी
जड्डू ही
ओल्ड हो
है.
रहा है. जड्डू, हाँ, उसके बाद क्या है
अक्सर है
यार?
ना, अक्सर.
सर भी है.
यार मतलब तू क्वालिटी स्पिनर्स
हम्म.
में जडेजा और अक्षर
हाँ,
को
but
काउंट.
still अक्षर is also good only. मैं मतलब ठीक है, I can count on him. Like, at least in
हाँ
India
बट
तो अच्छा करता ही है
हाँ
वो.
हाँ हाँ,
हाँ.
इंडिया में
ठीक है.
तो भाई जो रूट भी 5 विकेट हॉल लिया है. वो कौन है,
अपना
वो
वो
इंग्लैंड कौन आया था अभी ऑस्ट्रेलिया में नया
चहाल,
लेग स्पिनर, नहीं कोई तो केलेहर केलेहर ऐसा कुछ तो नाम था.
केलर
वो
केलर
भी आके
केलर,
7 विकेट ले लिया
हाँ.
है. तो मेरे को डाउट होता है
हाँ.
कभी कभी क्रेडिबिलिटी अपने स्पिनर्स का भी. बट इट इज व्हाट इट इज. अभी वजीर होता है, समझता है भाई क्यों रो रहा है.
जल
एनीवे,
मजल.
क्रेडिट नहीं मिला.
anything else regarding Indian squad, Indian selection, WTC before we can just touch upon Ashes?
I think we covered a lot, right? And
Yeah, major points. I
Yeah,
think we
just
covered everything.
who
Yeah,
okay,
Neeraj.
who do you think in the current squad is going to retire earliest? Test match at least.
I think Rohit must be considering.
I think Rohit.
Honestly,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think
Age is on the
Pujara.
wrong side for Rohit.
Okay,
Because he can focus.
Rohit, Kohli, and Pujara. You think Rohit will consider retirement first?
Yeah, yeah. Kohli, I think's got in him. He's got. He
Yeah.
Kohli will be the
looks
last
motivated.
among these. Yeah.
Kohli.
Interesting.
I
Kohli.
think
But
Rohit after 2023 World Cup will be altogether a different person only, depending on we win,
that
we
depends a
lose.
lot on how India
But
does in the World Cup. If
World
yeah,
Cup.
no,
India
that's what
wins
I'm
the
saying.
World Cup,
Depending,
He's
depending
already
on
out of the
we lose,
T20
win.
setup. T20I setup. He's out of it.
He
He's
has
not
to
in the
be.
squad.
Yeah.
हाँ.
He has
Yeah.
to, bro. He
तो
has
उसके
Yeah.
लिए
to.
ओडीआई बचा है, टेस्ट बचा है.
हाँ, दो फॉर्मेट
अरे
ओनली कंसिडर करो
टेस्ट
वही
भी
है.
टेस्ट भी खेल ही रहा है, खेल सकता है. अब उसका जैसा टेक्निक तो टिक सकता है, टिकना चाहिए. तो देखते हैं अभी क्या हो रहा है. बट पता नहीं,
एंड
ये WTC डिडंट गिव अ गुड एडवर्टाइजमेंट ऑफ रोहित शर्मा टेस्ट कैलिबर.
yeah,
but
yeah.
still
Yeah.
he
He's just
prime
captain.
peak of his test career I think he still is, so I think he should consider playing test 2030 के बाद भी. but हाँ, ODI and T20 I think he should
2030
make way.
23.
23 के बाद
Teis,
he should make way for Jaiswal, Rutus and Gills, and I think in limited overs I feel. And who do you think should take up, like last thing I would want to end this, who should take the test captaincy after Rohit? I mean, it's a very big question.
Bumrah if he's fit. I mean,
Yeah.
हाँ,
quite
अरे
weird.
घंटा फिट ही नहीं होता है वो. उसको क्या कैप्टेंसी का मेन है कि
क्या
अवेलेबल.
और क्या हो गया है
Uh,
पता नहीं है, but
बट
ठीक है,
ठीक है
let's
वो
put
Jadeja
it
तो.
over
also is
there.
possible. He's
I
नहीं 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 नहीं, जडेजा कैप्टन मैं
नहीं
देखा है
नहीं,
भाई.
not a
जडेजा
no.
नहीं,
जडेजा see some
not a reliable option.
human beings na have they are either warriors or they are generals. You can't mix the two. तुम एक जनरल को
yeah.
वॉरियर बनाओगे शायद चलेगा, लाइक अ कोहली. बट वॉरियर को
Hmm.
जनरल बनाओगे ना, वो पूरा वॉरियर भी नहीं रहेगा, वो जनरल भी नहीं रहेगा. दैट इज जडेजा.
जनरल भी नहीं रहेगा. True.
और जडेजा ऑलरेडी बैटिंग बॉलिंग फील्डिंग, तुम कैप्टेंसी दोगे पागल हो जाएगा वो भी टेस्ट मैच में. अटका मैं शायद.
For- Yeah.
I no. So
Go ahead,
answering your
Sahil.
question, Neeraj,
Hmm.
यार, I think टफ है ये काफी, बट मेरे दिमाग में ऐसा कोई एक नाम नहीं आ रहा है. बट यार, I don't know, मतलब
I'll
for
help you,
this
Sahil.
cycle at least. हाँ
कैप्टेंसी में तेरे को चाहिए अवेलेबिलिटी, सबसे नंबर 1,
करेक्ट
है ना?
हाँ
तो
करेक्ट
अवेलेबिलिटी में
अग्रीड
तो तेरा फिक्स स्पॉट्स होना चाहिए 11 में। तो तेरा एक
करेक्ट
कोहली हो गया, अश्विन हो गया। अश्विन अभी पता नहीं, ठीक है, अश्विन इंडियन कंडीशंस ओके फेयर रहा। अभी कोई 2 ही जन है यार, और कोई और
I'll
फिट है
I'll
ही
add
नहीं।
और द
I'll add
पॉइंट इज द पॉइंट
uh,
अगर रोहित खेल रहा है फॉर द नेक्स्ट 3-4 years, रोहित विल
हाँ
स्टिल बी द कैप्टन। तब तक बाकी लोग भी रिटायर होने का चांसेस बहुत हाई बढ़ जाता है।
आई डोंट
रोहित
थिंक
का
यार।
टेस्ट का इज नॉट फिक्स ना अभी। हाँ एंड
नहीं
एंड
यार मेरे
वन
को
मोर
लगता
थिंग,
है हाँ हाँ
अभी
गॉड
अभी
गॉड
होम
गॉड
सीजन है, बहुत बड़ा होम सीजन है, सो वो भी सोचो।
बटर
लाइक टू
बटर
इयर्स का
सीजन,
होम सीजन ही है।
मजा आएगा अभी। WTC क्वालिफाई होंगे वापस। अबे इंग्लैंड में
हाँ
मत करो
फाइनल
यार फाइनल, यार उधर ही हार जाते हैं अपन। औकात नहीं है
हाँ
अपनी।
ऑस्ट्रेलिया,
यार
ऑस्ट्रेलिया में चाहिए
ऑस्ट्रेलिया
ना।
इंडिया
इंडिया
में
इंडिया
करते हैं
तो
ना फिरोशा कोटला, एक दिन का पूरा
फिरोज
टेस्ट
को
मैच।
इंडिया में
अहमदाबाद
एक
में
ही
एक
प्लेस है
पिच
ब्रो
है
अभी।
अभी भी, वो पिच याद है मेरे को, वो 1.5 दिन वाला पिच।
श्रीलंका श्रीलंका।
वो पिच लाओ, अक्षर पटेल को अनलीश करो। अक्षर
एंड
पटेल क्या,
यार
रायना लाओ आउट ऑफ रिटायरमेंट,
वो तुम लोग
रायना
को याद है क्या
10 विकेट लेगा।
2007 जो ईएस स्पोर्ट्स क्रिकेट आता था उसमें वेट पिच होता था, डैम पिच, उसमें बॉल बिल्कुल बाउंस होता था, वैसा वाला पिच।
अहमदाबाद का
भाई वो
वो
कुछ
एक
भी
पिच
पिच
है ना, मेरे को अभी भी याद है, वो क्या पिच था वो भाई।
100 रन बना रहे थे।
बट यार ये भी एक पॉइंट है मालूम। दिस हैज हैम्पर्ड इंडियाज बैटिंग की, ठीक है रिजल्ट्स आया।
हाँ,
एंड राहुल द्रविड़ टच्ड अपॉन दिस कि भाई बज्जी ने पूछा था कि ये इंडियन पिचेस जो बनाए हैं अपने की टर्निंग ट्रैक्स, इसका जरूरत है क्या? एंड ही सेड कि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे फॉर WTC यू नीड रिजल्ट्स, एंड फॉर रिजल्ट्स दिस इज वन वे इंडिया विल क्वालिफाई। तो दिस इज अ ट्रेड ऑफ कि चलो बैटिंग थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे होएगा, बट वी क्वालिफाइड फॉर 2 बैक टू बैक WTC फाइनल व्हिच इज रियली डिफिकल्ट, लाइक इट्स अ होल एज साइकिल।
या 100%
तो वही है, तो उसके वजह से बैट्समैन को कंसिस्टेंसी नहीं मिला है। 20-30 का स्ट्राइक रेट, वो मैंने स्टैट डाला था ग्रुप में, लास्ट 4 इयर्स में केन विलियमसन, रूट, स्टीव स्मिथ का क्या सीन रहा है, एंड वेयर विराट कोहली
करेक्ट
है।
करेक्ट करेक्ट
ठीक है, इट इज व्हाट इट इज। अभी WTC में आए बट बैटर्स का बीटी हुआ है।
आंसर कर दो कैप्टन कौन रहेगा, दैट्स इट।
अश्विन यार मेरे हिसाब से, बट नहीं बनाएंगे।
हाँ, फॉर मी आल्सो अश्विन, हैंड्स डाउन इजीली।
मेरा बुमराह है यार, मैं होप कर रहा हूँ कि वो फिट रहेगा।
ये साहिल इंडियन सिलेक्शन कमेटी वाला है।
नहीं नहीं यार मेरा मेरा आई एम थिंकिंग कि यार मेरे को थोड़ा कैप्टेंसी स्टाइल रहाणे का थोड़ा पसंद आता है, मतलब इन टर्म्स ऑफ आई डोंट नो इफ he'll be fit,
वे एक
he'll
मैच
be there
खेला है
in the
वो 3
squad.
साल में।
I know
टीम में
but
भी
यार
नहीं
कंफर्म
था।
नहीं है, पता है मेरे को, बट पता नहीं मेरे को थोड़ा रहाणे, मतलब यार सी आई वुड लव अश्विन या फिर बुमराह एज वेल। अश्विन तो ऑब्वियसली बिकॉज वो एक थोड़ा है
बुमराह
ही स्क्वाड
वापस।
में, बट बट यार नहीं मतलब
मुंबई।
आई थिंक रहाणे नहीं, मुंबई नहीं, बिकॉज रहाणे यार वो मेरे को टेम्परामेंट बहुत मतलब आई फील
We never
टेम्परामेंट
doubted
के
it. But if history has said us one thing about Rahane's consistency, it has not been the greatest.
कंसिस्टेंट,
मैं
इट्स
एज अ
नॉट बीन।
चेन्नई फैन आई वुड लव टू हैव रहाणे एज अ कैप्टन, लाइक मैं उसको प्लान करता रहूंगा, बट एज एन ICT फैन आई डोंट ट्रस्ट इट येट। ये पैच अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा पैच था ये, मजा आया भाई अप्रैल से रहाणे को देखने में, और नया विकसित रूप, और टेस्ट में उसका अलग ही रूप, मजा आया, बहुत मजा आया। पर मेरे को और दिखाओ बिफोर आई कैन ट्रस्ट हिम।
करेक्ट।
हिस्ट्री डजंट
या
हेल्प मी
फेयर फेयर फेयर
जज रहाणे। या
फेयर
बट
फेयर
अश्विन कम ऑन, तेरे लिए PR बनाता हूँ मैं अश्विन का अच्छा वाला, ठीक है? तो
वो
शायद
खुद का पीआर
अरे
अच्छा है, वो
आई
खुद
थिंक
का
आई
बहुत
थिंक
अच्छा
आई थिंक
पीआर है, अश्विन
हाँ
खुद का
आई
पीआर
थिंक
कर लेता
अश्विन
है,
का प्यार बहुत बहुत लगेगा अभी, बट
खुद
या
ही है वो, खुद
फेयर
का
फेयर
PR।
फेयर
खुद ही पीआर
कर
करे।
दिया ना थोड़ा बहुत।
या बिफोर वी टच एशेस, आई थिंक एक मेरे को वन ऑफ माय फेवरेट मोमेंट्स आउट ऑफ द WTC वाज सुनील गावस्कर वाज आस्क्ड बाय अ प्रेजेंटर, दैट फीमेल प्रेजेंटर, कि व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट विराट कोहलीज विकेट आउटसाइड ऑफ स्टंप, what do you have to say about it? And he went berserk, he lost his mind.
या एग्जैक्टली
He was
एग्जैक्टली
like,
या
"You are asking me? Ask him what he was doing. It was outside off stump, six stump. Ask him what he was doing." अगर हो गया हो कि भाई, and you can and not one person criticized Sunil Gavaskar. सब everyone understood where he was coming
कि
from.
था इमोशन, आई
या
थिंक दैट
हाँ
वाज
भाई,
एवरी
अरे
इंडियन
कोहली
फैन, एवरी
स्टैंस भी
इंडियन
ऐसे
एवरी
हो जाते
इंडियन
कि क्या
फैन
बोल
डूड
रहा है ये,
क्या
ये
बोल रहा
बुड्ढे
है
को
ये वो
समझाओ, बट नहीं,
हाँ
सबको समझा कि नहीं भाई ये फ्रस्ट्रेशन बहुत fair है।